deck the halls.
What is with
baby.
everybody doing fucking Christmas? It's only the 23rd of July, so it's not Christmas in July yet. But I have so many people have been singing Christmas songs today. What is happening?
Because eventually, when you're in the midst of like 1,000 different like heat waves, you're like, oh, I long for cooler weather. And then when you're in the middle of a shit winter, you're like, God, I can't wait for it to be summertime.
Yep.
So everyone's singing Christmas songs, trying to summon the spirit of Christmas or something.
Yep.
Yes. And if he shows up, fucking kick his
Run.
ass out of your house. Like, as actually,
What,
I'm
what
gonna
happened?
happened in
Go
my
ahead,
life.
ask.
So many things.
We went off the rail already. No, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, like, as dads, like as parents, Christmas is. I'm curious if you have a different perspective on Christmas now. Like, you don't. It's for you guys. It's probably stressful, but also really rewarding because you give a gift to your kids, and then they're like, "Oh, you're the greatest."
Do you want to start, Mike? Do you need a minute?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how to word it because I think some ears might still be awake, so I've got to be very politically correct here.
Wait, what? Go ahead.
The kids might still be awake. So.
Yeah, where did the politically correct come from?
I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry.
Okay.
I get so like I think I get, and if you nod, blink your eyes twice if what I'm saying is correct.
Are you safe? Do you need an adult?
Are you in a hostage situation right now?
Is Sawyer standing behind you?
Yep.
It's probably a double-edged sword because you're going to buy him something that you think he likes, and then he might be like, "Oh, this isn't what I wanted," and you're like, "Bro, I toiled in the coal mines to get you this 6-pack of crew socks."
God damn it, Santa! What the fuck?
Oh yeah, right. Because a lot of your kids probably still believe.
Yeah,
That's more what I was trying to get at. Is
yeah.
how to say how I
We're
feel
trying to
without...
keep that alive as long as possible.
Yeah.
Like, I think for me, the girls, I'm just trying to like capture what Christmas made me feel like during Christmas when I was younger, or what it seemed like to me. Like, there was a whimsy when we were younger, and Christmas seemed not literally magical, but it was different. Everything felt different. Everything looked different. People behaved differently during Christmas.
Yep.
And it actually felt like a time when people got together and you could actually enjoy it, and it wasn't stressful.
Right.
But, like, it is stressful now, and trying to keep that alive and juggling work and school and the kids and all this shit, it's a fucking lot. So I have a lot of respect for our parents growing up and taking care of us and showing us that stuff because it's a lot. But I think I'm doing a good job because they are excited for Christmas every time it gets to be December.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
great. Yeah, I'm sure you guys do really well. You guys are good parents. Like, my kid will, I'll be like, "Hey, dude, I got you this bag of
Hey,
trash."
dude. I got you this bag. Dude, are
Maybe
you
like-
Carl from Aqua Teen? It sounds just like his dad when he did the flashback for Christmas.
Oh my god, I
Gotta
was
boil the coppet before you eat it.
Turi actually and I are now both watching Gravity Falls. And,
Oh, yeah.
oh, it's so good. But the best
very
part
chill.
of it's so funny. But the best part is there's a part where Dipper is, I think it's the episode where Mabel is running the Mystery Shack while whatever, Stan is like trying to win money on a game show. Fine. Dipper is trying to like show off a monster that shows you your worst fears, and there's a scene where like to get the monster grabs Mabel and he's about to like look into her eyes, and then Dipper's like, "Look at this," and he pulls up a mirror like you would assume, and the thing's worst fear was he looks in the mirror and he's his father. So it's just the same monster, but he's wearing glasses.
Oh, no.
Because I've turned into my own father. And like Terry saw that, she was dying. I was dying when I saw it. It is so freaking funny, man. I don't know why I just brought that up.
No, that's fine. I don't know how to rope it into what we're going to talk about, but that's okay.
Lenny,
I'm
hold
not
on.
the host this time.
Are we the
As the
remake or
host,
are we the remaster?
as the host, yeah, as the host,
I'm just going to kick back and relax. I don't got to do shit.
ready for this one?
Oh, God.
Buckle in. What happened?
I got scared.
What?
My wife ran in and screamed at me. Scared the crap out of me. Anyway.
Anyways, the remake is every Christmas you give to your kids is a remaster of your Christmas when you were a kid.
Wow. Nicely done.
I would drop my
your
mic. And I
degree
would lose
coming
my
into play here.
Yes, 10 years of college. I tell that to people at work all the time. They're like, I'm like 8 years of college for a 4-year degree.
Yeah. Nice. So, what? I'm trying not to like take over and do hosting duties, but if
No,
anyone's
you're right.
not,
So we did the fair thing, which again we did off camera because we had
I think
technical.
that's going to be a social video. It's short and sweet.
Yes.
I'm going to throw it up so people can see it.
Join our Patreon and you can see us spin the wheel.
Ooh, I'll hide it behind the Patreon wall, so you have to pay $5 to see it. You get to
Yeah.
watch us spin the wheel.
Yeah, and then
keep
watch us
talking
go.
about the wheel.
Why is the browser so slow?
Well, that's why we need many $5 so we can get better equipment.
That's what I'm saying. Pay to listen. So we spun the wheel, and we've at the wheel, which is an impartial judge, stated that we are going to be discussing. We're going to have a Let's Talk About today, and that Let's Talk About is going to be about remakes and versus remasters. Ooh. And our fearless leader is not going to be hosting this one.
You're pointing at Mike.
I'm
I'm
pointing
on the
at
other
you.
side for the video.
No,
Yes,
listen,
I know. But I'm
Listen,
look
in
at
my
this.
listen. Okay, fine. This guy.
What would you point at this screen? Like, you look over here. Look.
I'm going to take a picture and send it to you, and you are going to be eating so much crow that you're going to need to do a remaster of your attitude.
All right, motherfucker.
By the way, my wife bought me a shirt.
That's
It is
cute.
great. If you can't see it, it says "The Dog Father," and my dad bod is showing in every aspect of the shirt.
Mike's got a shirt that says the father too.
I'm their father. What does your shirt say?
Who, mine?
Yeah.
You can't see it, but it's a sword with a moon in front of it.
I think again, I told you before, stop taking LSD before you start jumping on the podcast.
Gotta make it interesting somehow.
If you're going to be building models, stop huffing the glue because you start seeing things, because there's nothing on that shirt. Ooh.
Huffing my mints.
Huff them
Better
up,
than
baby. Huff them shits up. Okay.
Anywho, what is a remake versus a remaster?
I'm actually, you listen, host man, I'm going to field it to you guys. How would you guys define? We'll start with Mike. What is the difference between a remake and a remaster?
For me, remake is taking something and putting a new spin on it, whereas remaster is literally just upping the visuals so that it's caught up with the times.
All right. I like that. Do we agree with that, Adam?
Pretty much.
Cool. Well,
So-
you said pretty much.
Pretty
Elaborate.
much. I would elaborate. That's the thing. I would go further into
Do it up.
So,
Do it up.
so remastering is generally taking. Oh no. Hang on. What did you say remake was? So I can expand upon what you said.
He's out.
Sorry.
People, he's out of the pilot seat for 3 seconds, and he's already in a different world, man. I told you again. If you're gonna huff paint, do it on your own damn time.
Okay. Okay. A remake is generally taking the original original game and just updating the graphics, maybe moving it to a different engine so that it runs smoother, and just basically giving it quality of life improvements that the original version of that game did not get. Whether it's smoother menu transitions, expanded options for games, better looking models, artwork, what have you, make it cleaner. Those are for remakes. Remasters is taking what you originally known as the game, like the bones of it, and then besides a fresh coat of paint, but giving it new options or different ways to play the game, but it still feels and acts like the original game.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So
I think you guys flipped your definitions. Fight.
Yeah.
Fight.
I would have to disagree on what I would have to disagree with his explanation on remake, but remaster. I think that's once you start getting into that point of view, is how much of it's been changed or added. That would make it go from a remaster to a remake in my mind. Like Kingdom Hearts was I consider the Kingdom Hearts as a remaster, but they added features like the situation command, where you use the triangle. That wasn't in the first game. But as where the other games did it well, they added it into that one. But other than that, there wasn't really much changes, and I would say that's a remaster. But it looks cleaner. Whereas Final Fantasy VII, that to me is a remake, because it's still the same story, except there's a new spin on it, and everything's revamped. It's not a turn-based game anymore. It's more like action commands type of thing, if that makes sense.
You know what? I think I got my definitions mixed up. I had to look up to see if there was a hard and fast definition, and I definitely got them flipped.
So, to host for a minute. The funny thing is, I posted an article link.
Yeah.
I want you to do me a favor, because you're not the only one who's confused. Wikipedia lists. Okay, so we all remember DuckTales.
Yeah.
The DuckTales NES game.
Yes.
And the DuckTales NES game, right? It had a game that will come out. Hold on, I'm just trying to get back to it. DuckTales. Cool. DuckTales had a game that was called DuckTales Remastered. That in this list marks it as a remake. Oh.
Yeah, that's not confusing.
Part of the reason I wanted to field it to you guys, I think that there is a lot of weird nebulous idea. There's no hard and fast rule, I don't think. I think that, to me, I think I kind of agree with, I think to me, right, based on what this whole article has, like, a remake is going to be actually, I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't know. I was going to say a remake for me would be updating the visuals, and a remaster is going to be reimagining the game. To me, does that sound correct? I don't know, because they said...
So,
yeah.
Let me read you the definition that I've got here. It says, remasters typically involve updating the resolution, frame rate, and textures of an existing game, but the underlying mechanics of the levels remain the same. In contrast, a remake rebuilds the game from scratch using a completely new engine or design. So I definitely got my definitions flip-flopped in that case.
Well, did you? Because I'm going to put in the Wikipedia article for this, and it actually tells you the complete polar opposite. A video game remake is a video game closely adapted from an earlier title, usually for the purpose of modernizing a game with updated graphics for newer hardware. So, the fun fact is, I think that everyone's confused about what that is. But the secret answer to both and they have the same definition, is a way that video game companies both give us what we want, but also don't really need to do a lot of work. You know what I mean?
I disagree.
We'll get into it. So I'm looking right now because again I have this list up, right? So on this list, and again this is an authoritative list because this is Wikipedia, and it's not like everyone and their moms can just go in and put whatever they want in there, which is not the case because everyone does. It
My
lists
mom
that
doesn't know how to use a computer. Don't say
most
it.
people's moms don't know how to use a computer. Don't worry, you're in good company, friend.
I was afraid you were going to say your mom, and I was going to say, don't make that joke.
It's not a joke. That is the furthest thing from a joke. The oldest video game that got a remake on this list is 1942.
Should we set we need a set example to reference when we're saying remake versus remaster, so we all know what we're referencing and the audience knows too.
Correct.
Like when we say remake, what types of games are a remake versus?
I agree, and you know what? I will say this. I actually kind of agree. Going back over it, I kind of agree with you. I think the term remaster would make it seem like it's a new game, where a remake would make it seem like it's updated graphics. Was that your definition, or was it the opposite?
I think remake was the updating graphics and remastering was redoing the game to make it better. I think it should be the other way around, because when you think about like remixing and remastering music, you're fixing it so it sounds better and cleaner and clearer.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, remaster, updated
so remastering
graphics,
is updating
remake.
graphics.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
and by the way, guys, this is why I'm probably never going to host again, because I'm already batting 1,000 on
You're doing great.
knocking this out of the park. No, and I think you're right. We need to set a standard for what we define these things as, because I think it's really easy. Again, in this Wikipedia article, they list the remaster of, like, halfway through this list, they were like, we don't remember what definitions for what. So it lists that 1942, this game that released in arcades got a remake. I'm sorry, I would assume a remaster, because again, it's a video game from, it's a video game that released in 1984, and it was re-released as 1942 Joint Strike in 2008. Now, listed on this list as a remake, but it's a remaster. I mean, come on. Like, let's all agree that if you put a game,
Hang on, is it though? Like, did they do anything to it, or did they just port it over?
Well,
because think of it this way: the old Pac-Man games or Dig Dug or anything like that on the arcade, like the arcade version of those games, are those remasters because they ported them over from whatever format to the consoles?
1942 video game. Okay, so let's take a look at what this looked like. This is what the game looked like when it released in the arcade in 1984. Okay?
Okay.
Now let's look
what
at
I would expect to see.
Right, and now let's do Joint Strike. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I know
mean,
what game this is now.
Right. This is what the new game looks like. So I think the thing is,
Okay, so remake. Okay, remake is correct for this then by our definition, right?
No, remaster. We said. Oh, I'm sorry. Remaster.
No, God damn it.
Guys, we're professionals. Remember, if you pay $5, you get to see what goes on behind the scenes, which is currently happening in this episode.
It is. This is the actual definition of a remake.
Okay, remake.
Yes.
So
yes.
we agree that this is a remake. Okay, they remade
Yes.
this game.
Hang on, Mike. Do you agree?
It's a remake.
Okay, thank you. I like that he's just like, yes, remake. Shut up.
So, I mean, like, this is, and again, just to give it a little history, like, that game, the original game released in 84, the new game released in 2008. So, like, it's old enough to rent a car at this point, where the amount of time between when the original came out and when the remake came out, it is a comparable amount of time. The thing that actually throws me on this one, and again, the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it blew my mind that 1984, I mean, 1942 is not like I don't think it's like a super well-known game, right?
There's a handful of those kind of games.
Right.
Like top-down shooters
But it's like
on rails or whatever.
It's a bullet hell game, right?
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yep.
but I mean, it's very interesting that they went that long. They were like, we need to gussy
Time
this
for a
up.
remake.
So, reason I'm bringing this up is, again, there's a long history of games being ported to new systems. I mean, I wish that they had the ability to actually parse this out a little bit better, because
you know what? There was a period in when the new consoles were coming out. Not the new ones, but yeah, shit. What was it? Xbox One and PS4 around like the end of the PS3 era into the Xbox One and the PS4 era. There was a shit ton of remakes coming out, or remakes or remasters, both. And like there was it felt like half the community was excited about it, and the other half was mad that it was seemingly those games instead of new IPs or fresh games coming out.
by the way, thank you, Mike, because you actually put the 100% accurate Legacy of Kain, slap that in there. He put into our chat that is the definition of a remaster. It goes from like
Yes.
PS1 graphics to nice.
Yes. Nice.
So there's a lot of them. There's a lot of, and again, this is just touching on games that are direct remakes or remasters. I mean, there's a lot of games that are like spiritual successors, which might fall into that kind of a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
That being said, because I think we've talked about this a lot on this cast, and I'll tell you my thing on it. I like it. There are good things about it, right? There are good things because, again, you're going to be bringing back older IPs, maybe putting it out there for people who weren't there when it was initially released. So, like, sure.
Updated
like,
for modern sentiments and gaming habits.
Absolutely. My curiosity is, because we are in this kind of world now, where a lot of these IPs, not just video games, movies, everything seems to be an adaptation of a thing. And what is the most adaptation of a thing ever is when something is basically just spit shined up and put out there. One thing that, and it's funny, as I'm saying this, I'm curious, has there ever been a movie remake that has gone super well?
Yes.
And
Evil Dead. Yes.
Oh, not
the
not
remake.
What, no, what you think is a good, faithful. Has it surpassed
It wasn't
the original?
faithful. Yes. They leaned more into the horror, and it was really well received.
Okay. Okay. I mean, and again, if we're gonna go into, God, I love the Evil Dead. I love Army of Darkness. It's such a good movie. Did you watch?
Necronomicon.
Did you watch the series?
I think we talked about this. I did not, but I need to because you were telling me that it's good.
I actually haven't seen it, so you're that
Oh.
from someone else.
Never mind then.
Do you know a different Sean? I mean, it's Massachusetts. There's like, if you threw a rock outside, you would hit a Sean. But
I do not know one right now.
I think the thing is really interesting is they're really, video games are weirdly positioned where this is a viable business solution and a viable way to put games back into the market. I don't. I mean, there are obviously remakes for movies, right?
It's also a new lease on life for the games too, because you might find a different audience.
Right. It's weird. It's a unique space because I feel like that's not something that happens in most other art media, right? Like there are homages,
Yeah.
but not like direct, like sure,
And straight
like
up clones.
straight up clones, right? And even like the Evil Dead, is that written? I mean, that's not like Ash isn't in that. Ash isn't recast. No, this is like a whole different
No,
cast of
the
characters. in the
Deadites are
same
still in it.
universe.
The cabin is still in it, but it's a different cast of characters and like things that happen. Still along the same lines, but
Right.
different.
So one of the reasons why I bring this up is because I did my homework and I put in notes, and which is fine because Lord only knows I put them all in like the last minute because I suck. Um, but one of the notes that I put in right was that where the hell are you? So open link. So Miyamoto, right, is going
Yeah.
over why they are remaking the Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and this coming right on the heels of the again do we call that is that a remake? I think that would be a remake, right?
You know what? They have not shown off enough for us to know. They did
No,
remaster the game for the 3DS.
no, well we'll get to that. I'm actually was going to pivot to Star Fox.
Oh, that is an absolute remake.
Okay, okay. So like it has some quality of life stuff. It's not just updated graphics. There's like
Oh, there's
new
so much.
shit.
They've built upon, like, it's a remake of the first game, but they've added more to it as well.
Did you do?
It's
Have you
prettier
played
graphics.
it?
They've added more. No, no, no. I've read a lot and watched people play it and learned what it's about.
Okay.
But they've like whole new tutorial mode, whole new area to play, whole new different missions and things. It's expanded based on just running through the, I don't know, the canyons, the aisles. What do you want to call them?
Right.
Just flying through, playing the game, getting to the boss, and finishing. There's way more to do than just that now.
Right.
Right. Okay.
So it's
So
a proper remake.
fair. Going into this article, right? So Miyamoto was talking to Famitsu, though I got this from
Yorimoto?
Miyamoto. That's what I said.
You said Miyamoto, so I said Yorimoto.
Wiyamoto, okay?
Hey,
A
this is America.
Merc. Basically, the translation was some people might say there's a lot of remakes, but after 5 years, a lot of people have outgrown games and stopped playing them. Young people today don't have the opportunity to play games from 10 years ago, so remaking them to be more playable and releasing them again is a good way to meet that demand. So, the author of this article then follows it up with, I do feel somewhat compelled to step in here and point out that yes, there is a massive problem for young people having access to games from just 10 years ago. But I'm not convinced that the answer is always multi-million-dollar remakes. Perhaps better support for older hardware and permanent support for purchased games, which we've touched on,
That's where
right,
my mind was going to as soon as I heard you
would
read
better,
that.
would better address this issue, or at the very least, not suing everyone who tries to preserve games for them.
Yes, Nintendo. I absolutely agree. That's where my mind went to as soon as you finished reading Miyamoto's quote. I'm like, okay, remakes and remasters have a place in the industry, on the consoles, whatever. Sure. That's fine. But there absolutely should be a way to play those old games and bring them forward. I think one of the better companies that's doing that is Xbox. Despite them fucking falling on their face, I don't know how many times now, they are at least trying to keep their backwards compatible library current with the new systems. So a lot of stuff from the 360, which is what, 3-4 generations old now, has come forward, and you can play them on the new hardware.
One thing
Nintendo's trying to do that now, but it's all emulation. You still can't buy them.
right, and not every game's going to be emulated. At least an
Right.
authorized emulation through Nintendo, right? Like there's
Right.
a million games, right? That, and again, this kind of touches on something I think we've talked about numerous times. How many times have you guys bought a game for a different platform? like, like,
I
me
think I
too.
bought Gears 4 different times. I bought No More Heroes on the Wii, I think it was. I bought that game 3 different times between the Wii and the Switch.
Yeah,
So
I
great.
I bought hell Ocarina of Time. I've bought that
I like
twice.
asking this. Hey, Mike, how many times did you buy Kingdom Hearts?
Oh God. Let's see. Uh, original system releases. Their remaster versus remakes. When they do the bundles on disc,
Ooh,
bundles and digital.
Can you imagine if they remade Kingdom Hearts with like modern sentiments and stuff? It'd feel so much better. Because playing that first game was a slog.
I don't know. Yeah, kinda. Like, I would appreciate them polishing up like the battle system, the movement, and stuff like that. But I'm not sure I would want them to update the graphics, or if they do, polish it. Because I like the toony feel of it. I think that's where I was thrown off with Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, I appreciate the graphics getting better and stuff like that, but going for realism was the wrong way to go, to be honest, in my opinion.
They're looking too Final Fantasy esque.
Yeah, where we grew up with Kingdom Hearts being more toony than anything else. But then
Hmm.
again, that was also the style of the characters at that time, like Jack and Daxter, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, stuff like that.
You are not wrong. That's true. That's what was hitting at that time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's funny. I'm going through the comments for this one article, and your friendo put in. He goes bullshit. Nintendo mainly does remakes for two reasons: one good and one bad. And I kind of agree with this, right? So at least in Nintendo's case, the bad reason, it's easy money, right?
Right.
There's a whole generation of, and I'll point this out too, and a lot of people have also pointed this out. I can play Ocarina of Time and Star Fox right now. I have them on this subscription, right? Well,
I can plug that in and play it now.
well, we'll get into the whole idea of like being able to retroactively use hardware without using some sort of third party emulation or whatever. That's another whole kettle of fish. The thing that's really interesting, like, it is easy money because I think we would play Ocarina of Time again. I don't know if a kid would love playing. Ocarina of Time is a phenomenal, like like an earth-shattering game that does not play well compared to games that are out now. There are quality of life features that could be added that would make your life easier. They did it with the
Right.
3DS version, right?
Right.
So like, but and this will touch on the second point of this, but from a marketing perspective, most people are like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Ocarina of Time was like photorealistic? And people are like, yeah, we'll buy that shit. I'm not jazzed. I'm gonna buy it. I'm absolutely gonna buy it. I'm not pleased about it, but I'm also kind of pleased about it because again, that's one of my favorite games of all time. But one of the things they also point out is training. So this person notes that, and they give a few examples. Link's Awakening. Okay, so you have, which again, there was Link's Awakening DX. There were the multiple emulations on, you could buy it through Virtual Console, and it's on the Nintendo, subscription
It was on the
model.
3DS shop, too, because I have it on my 3DS.
And I had, right, but when they remade, when they actually did, I'm sorry, when they did a full remake for it, right? They used that. Oh yeah, dude, I actually knew somebody who had one. Like the is that the new 3DS?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I
the Link Between Worlds Special Edition.
God, I love that game. Which, by the way, actually, that's a speaking of the weird fuzzy line. Link Between Worlds is a great one because that's
It's a
literally
direct sequel.
right. But when they specifically note here, Link's Awakening, they took it's not the map, but they used that art style for Echoes of Wisdom. Metroid Samus Returns went to Metroid Dread. Um, Famicom Detective Club went to MEO. I don't know. I've never played
I
that.
don't know what that is.
Right. But like what they can
Mike
do
does.
is who?
Mike does.
LS.
I know.
Famicom Detective Club?
He doesn't know what it is. I was just
Okay.
getting his attention.
Man,
Sorry. Did you get
throwing
excited?
throwing me off.
Sorry.
No, but it. I do see kind of the value of that. Like they're updating it and they're using that as a platform to maybe build on that IP that hasn't really had much movement. Right.
I'm okay. I don't want to like throw off the discussion here, but I'm really
Oh.
curious because of that period of time where it seemed like there was just a glut of remakes and remasters. I'm curious if that didn't turn you guys off to the idea of remakes and remasters now.
So I'll let Mike answer. I have thoughts, but what are your thoughts, Mike?
Depends on the situation, to be honest. Like some of them I'm okay with. What I'm not okay is the re-releasing of shit
Quick
without
question
any changes.
before you
Yeah.
jump further in: is this a personal preference on the game itself, or just the fact that a bunch of them are coming out? Like, are you excited about those games that you are okay with being remade or remastered, and the ones that you don't know about or don't care about, you're like, why are you bothering? Or is it just the sheer amount?
I think it's the decision of why you're bothering with some of them.
Okay.
Like there's some spurious and like, why are we remaking X game for the fifth time type deal?
Yeah, pretty much. That's
Or like
that's where my
remastering the
turn.
first version of a game when the fifth version's coming out, just to retread the old thing, rather than just like a game out of nowhere. It's like, we're remaking this one. Why? Like, I can see that.
Right. Like, you can tell how bad that the obsession was, but like as they were getting closer with the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, them re-releasing the remastered versions of 1, 2, and the side ones, I
That makes
rebought
sense.
it just to go through the story again.
And it makes sense to redo it and ship it out before then because 3 was going to be a huge game.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And like I understand the value in that too, because again,
Yeah.
especially if you're going to be releasing like a new, you know, flag tentpole, release in a franchise. Hey, maybe we'll release some older versions of the game, but updated to gain a little bit of support with that. Totally understand. But to touch on your thing, I do think that there is something interesting about the glut of remakes, remasters, ports. One of the things I'll highlight is like, and I'm just going through this pretty quickly. The majority of these, it looks like, of these remakes and remasters, like a pretty high, all of them were in the year 2000s, at least for the ones that I'm looking through right now. Most of them were in the mid to late 2010s through early 2020s. So I'm curious if we are going to start seeing a lot. It is really cool to see things like, I don't know, fucking, you know, old Final Fantasy games coming back out and like, that kind of cool shit. But like, it is interesting. I feel like every 2 minutes there's a game that releases, and then like 2 weeks later, you end up with a remaster, or that seems to be like kind of a quick cash grab. Like one I'm looking at right now, Devil May Cry 4, right? got re-released, 7 years later, which is not, that's not a small amount of time. That's a pretty good amount of time. But like, it just moved a generation forward, right? So like, it went from releasing on PS3 to PS4, or Xbox
Ooh,
360, Xbox One.
talking about just hopping generations, something you mentioned earlier. What about The Last of Us?
That was one I was
They're
going to
they're
touch
pretty
on.
guilty of that.
So I will say, and I love Naughty Dog.
Hmm.
They are kind of similar to like Rockstar in they have really really successful IPs that they just keep pushing out again. Same thing with Skyrim, right? How many times
Yeah,
is Skyrim releasing on the Samsung fridge so you can play
and
it?
and with Bethesda too, we just got confirmation that Fallout 3 and New Vegas are going to be remade
Right.
or
And
remastered, one of the two.
there are parts where I'm like, there's a part of me that's like, oh, that's kind of cool, but like,
I
man,
would argue
sometimes
Fallout 3 doesn't need it because it's already a really good game, but like maybe giving it a fresh coat of paint would be cool, but like
well,
I don't think all the games need it.
and like going to The Last of Us, and that's probably the example for me where it released. It was a PS3 game, right?
Yes.
PS3 era game. Okay,
Yeah.
Yep.
so it was a PS3 era game. Then it got the remaster for the PS4 era, and then it got part one, the PS5 era. And and for what it's worth, I mean, I was able to upgrade it for like, I think it was like $10 or something, right? But like, fucking why, man? Like, again, I don't need 13 different versions of the same game over and over again. Like, there's a point where you eventually hit a thing of, okay, I've played Skyrim. I've played Skyrim a lot. I don't need it released again on the PlayStation 6 era where you have like you can smell the troll around the corner. Like I don't need that shit, man.
Ooh.
And like
Here, let's be more distinct with Skyrim. Is it really a remaster? Because at one point they set up the game, and then I feel like after that they just ported it over and gave specific consoles or those releases something special, such as like for the Switch version, you can put in amiibos and you get like Link's outfit and stuff like that in it. For other consoles, I don't know if they got anything special necessarily, but they run great on the newer hardware now. But are
right.
they actually remasters of the original, or is
Sorry.
it just did they hit a wall and
No,
then they were like, "This is good enough, we'll put it out"?
well, so that's again going back to this definition of remaster, going back to Mike's literal pictorial evidence. That's a remaster. You know what I mean? It is a game that you have to buy again that just looks a little bit better on a different set of hardware.
Right, but Skyrim didn't do that after a certain point. I feel like it's
But
looked the
it,
same across whatever newer generations.
so they definitely released a remaster. Like there was a full-on remaster, like with PS5 level. Like I remember they were like, now you have God rays, and it's like, okay, great. But again, that's still a remaster. They tweaked a few things and they put it back out, and then they slap a
So
remaster on it,
they did do a Skyrim whatever
special
like
edition.
anniversary edition, special edition. Yeah, is that a remake or is that just a conglomeration of all the DLC and stuff and then fixed up for the consoles? Because that wouldn't be a remaster. That would just be putting everything in one box.
Right, but if they have, to me, and again going back to this idea of a remaster, but they did update graphics, right?
To a point, I feel like it stopped.
But they upgraded graphics.
Before, not for that one necessarily.
Let's look on the right. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. So like there is very clearly a graphical difference. Like they upgraded textures, like and recently, right?
Right, right. But just because it says remastered isn't specifying which version of the game that is. Which game did that come from? And don't say Skyrim.
Yeah, it did come from Skyrim. It's funny too because it's not actually listing Skyrim here, which is. Hold on. Yeah, why the hell is Skyrim not on this? That is wild to me. So I get what you're saying.
Like
There
an
was a
audio version of
point,
that game on the Amazon Echo too.
right? And to be fair, I mean that's a remaster, based on our definition.
No, that's a remake.
I'm sorry, you had an audio version of the game.
That's remaking the game
Right.
for
Sorry,
a different hardware.
remake, sorry. I'm never hosting again.
That's all good.
Okay, no, but that's okay. Fine, that is a remaster. That is, but
Fuck.
well, remake. Damn it! Never remember. Listen, I was huffing glue before the podcast. Right, that was a remake. For this, I think I'm sorry. For this, I mean, they did upgrade graphics. There was at least one remaster, right?
I agree.
Right.
Yes.
Sure. But I mean, you're right. There was also a point where there was literally like the same PS3 graphics, but it was like on random shit. Like even like the Switch version, they did add some chichkas or whatever, but it was still the same shit.
That fucking word again.
Chichkas, yeah.
Tchotchke.
Tchotchkes.
Said that last
Doodads.
week. There you go.
Flim
I
flams.
like doodads. Now we're
You
getting into
do
old man
like
territory.
doodads. I remember back when the only Skyrim you had was a stick and you had to fight a tree.
Mike, what were you going to say?
No, I said greedlings.
Go on.
Enlighten me.
That's what like the boops and bobs. What you guys were talking about.
Boops and Bobs, I love that. I'm stealing that. Like Boops and Bobs. What is a greedling? I've never heard that.
It's the little like you know how on the Millennium Falcon or Star Trek, usually the stuff from like ILM, the models. It's the little details that they put on there that mean absolutely nothing, but it looks cool.
Ooh, I like that term. Greedlings.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, man.
I'm losing my mind.
Beautiful. brother, I lost mine a long time ago. Oh, but okay, fine.
Yeah.
Let's not use Skyrim as an example. I think the thing is, eventually there is a point where there are small incremental upgrades that they slap a remaster title on, and then you're like, bro, I don't want to buy this fucking game again.
Right.
And
Ooh, can anybody think of a bad example of a remaster? And I have one right off the bat.
Oh, what the fuck was that game that we talked about like months ago or whatever?
Tales of Symphonia. I played the shit out of it on the GameCube, and they remastered it and put it out for newer consoles, and it ran worse. It was so much worse than the original. It made me sad.
I'm actually going through this right now. I want to see if there is one.
I wasn't thinking that one. There was one that we literally put. It might still be in the notes. We legitimately put a picture, a comparison of the original versus the remake, and the graphics from the original was a hell of a lot better.
Oh, come on. Adam Jensen is the main character. Oh, what game is that?
Oh my god.
Oh, it's I was going to say Siphon Filter, but it's not Siphon Filter.
You were so close because it looks like Siphon Filter.
Scroll.
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
Yeah,
that's
Deus
the one.
Ex. Right, and that's what. Or actually, if we're going to go into that, if we're going to go into the games re-releasing over and over again, the definitive edition of GTA.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
that was
because they remastered their own game for the fuck. Can you really call a game for a newer generation a remaster if it's the same game? GTA 5 is in a weird spot because it came out in the
Not GTA
PS4
5.
era.
Not GTA 5. Remember, they released 3 Vice City in San Andreas, and remember, like, people lost their shit because You couldn't
Right.
see through the rain graphics to actually see what was going on. And the aesthetics that they chose, like, everyone was wearing puffy jackets in the original
Right.
game, they smoothed it out so, like, people's arms were all weird and shit.
Hmm.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I remember
that's
it
a
also ran poorly.
right, and it ran like dog shit. And
Yep.
like that's where people I think there is a healthy amount of why do we need this? And there are like point again, like The Last of Us is a great game. When it was remastered, it was fantastic. And then they did like a full freaking remake kind of for part one, and you're like, but why do we need that? Like
Right.
the game's already there, man. Like give us The Last of Us 3. And part of it is because updating the graphics isn't like paying a whole team of creative people to come up with a story. It's just updating graphics and adding some things and rock on.
Right.
And
See, that's where I disagree, though. It's a little more work than just that.
it's not, I mean, it is, but it's not the same amount of work as making a
It's
new
not the same
game.
as making a new game. Yes.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And if you can make the same amount of money, then why make a new game?
Do you think things like that poison the well when it comes to remakes and remasters?
I mean, yes. I think, I think if you, I,
Well, that and I didn't completely finish my thought, I don't think, because I jumped between it when I was thinking about it. But, like, besides just the overabundance of one game being re released a few times, giving it different titles to be remastered or whatever,
Yep.
versus poorly released remasters, is there one over the other that poisons the well more, or is it just a ratio thing?
I mean, so I'm sorry, just to clarify, you were saying, is the amount the problem, or the amount is fine, but the occasional bad egg is what sours the
Yeah,
people's
one bad apple
taste?
spoils bunch kind of thing.
I think that's, well, I think that if you generate a lot of hype, because people were really excited, using GTA as the example, they were really excited for that remaster, and it came out, and people were like, dude, what the fuck? And that is when it becomes kind of readily apparent when, or I don't want to say readily apparent, because again, I think there were people who probably, like in Rockstar, that loved those three games and were like, we're gonna do right by them. I
I
don't
don't
think it
think
was
Rockstar
completely
was overseeing that, though. I thought it was a different company that was remastering those games for them.
sure, but they had to have seen, like, they're just gonna hand, well, who knows, right? Even this other company, right?
Mhm.
That I don't think that it's 100% a like a bad faith thing where they're just trying to get money, but it seems like it. You know what I mean? If you were like, "Hey, this is a full $60 release and it sucks ass," I feel like I got had.
Mike, you talk.
Oh, he's pointing to me. No.
Yes.
It's like, who are you
I
pointing
don't
to?
think. I
You.
don't think it's a specific reason. I would have to beg to differ that it's a culmination of everything. Like the sheer amount isn't the problem by itself. I think it's the sheer amount with the frequency is what's the problem at this point. And then it leads to laziness and problems, and then where we're talking where
Ooh.
it circles back to a whole bunch of other things where now we're getting to the point where they're re-releasing shit so often and claiming remastering, but things are getting sloppier. They we no longer own these items, so why are we rebuying it if we don't own it? Um, it it's everything adding up at this point is we're just getting tired of it.
Touching on that too, like, and that's what this article's saying is like, it seems a kind of a bad faith thing when you're like, hey, look at this shiny new thing we're putting out. when like you have the original hardware, and sometimes you can't even play the original hardware because it starts to degrade after a time,
Yeah.
and there is no option for you. Like, you bought it, it doesn't work now because you bought it, 25 years ago, and the only option that you have is either finding it in like some dump
Yeah.
or buying an emulated version that's approved,
Right.
because every single video game company after a point, if they find out their ROMs were dumped on the free interweb, whatever, they'll start suing people left and right.
Right.
And there's a point where I'm like, okay, I do kind of understand that. If you have new stuff, if stuff gets pirated, people don't get paid, companies go out of business, and smaller companies, for example, like, if you find a game online that was, pirated and it came from a small developer, that developer might not be able to pay their employees. I understand that premise. The thing where it gets a little bit squicky is they'll start pulling, they'll start going to these pirating sites for games that are like 35 years old that will never get a remake. And
Right.
then it's just lost media.
May just be an IP thing though too.
What do you
Like
mean?
you can't give any kind of wiggle room because you have to protect the IP.
Oh, I mean, sure, but you also are not putting that back out there, so it's just now
You're
dead.
just sitting
Right.
on it. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
It's not. I get where you're coming from, Adam, but it's not. The way I see it is, the comparison is somebody spending somebody defending Pong like Disney defends Mickey Mouse. It Pong is never going to happen, whereas Mickey Mouse, it doesn't matter what iteration of it is, they're going to
That is
defend the
such a
mouse
funny
as
sentence.
best they can.
No offense to you, Mike, but
Yeah.
that was a great sentence. Pong is never gonna happen.
You can just imagine, like, some kid, like, backward rewrites the ROM from Pong, and then he's like, oh, I just, I couldn't find Pong on the regular market, so I just remade it in my garage. And then he goes out and, like, there's like 400 cops with guns pointed at him. Like, you son of a bitch. Do you have any idea how many people died to make Pong?
Jesus.
Shoots him on his front lawn.
Oh my god.
I'm fucking dying now. No, but you're right. Like, it's funny. It's funny, like, Pac-Man. Like, I mean, I'm sure Namco is probably a little bit litigious about Pac-Man,
Right.
but it ain't Disney level of litigious. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's funny
That's true.
because, like, at some point, yeah, sure, you have IPs, but at some point, your trademark's going to expire. Like,
Right.
so at some point, people are going to be able to do it for free. You know what I mean? But, like, it's just so weird, the battles that are chosen. And I understand the idea that you want to make sure to police these things. But could you imagine the goodwill you would have from, shit, how many
Supporting
dang-
independent developers? People who are
Or-
learning how to do these things?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, you know how many Chrono Trigger... There was, like, this amazing Chrono Trigger fan-made 3D version that was about to come out. I remember reading about it. Everyone was losing their fucking mind. And, like, the day it was supposed to come out, cease and desist letter. Boom.
Yep.
Nintendo.
It drew too much eyes on it. Got too big.
Right, but, and like, I get,
And
I
I
get
feel
it.
like that's on the same level as people who take the Pokemon ROMs and will completely change all the sprites in the game and just leave like the bones, create their own story or whatever, and make the game from that. And then Nintendo shuts it down.
Well, and it's funny because, like, for example, you're talking about, independent developers learning at their craft, right? Isn't Undertale basically a ROM, came from a ROM hack of, like, Earthbound or some shit?
Ooh, I do not know.
So
Very good question.
Toby Fox. Let me pull
I know
this
he
up.
did all the work.
No, but
like,
Toby Fox.
I think it was
hold on.
him learning to make a game, and that's how Undertale just came to be. But I didn't know that it was built on something.
It's not. Well, Toby Fox ROM hacks. So he did. Let me do this. So
Did he make ROM hacks before?
I'm gonna give you a whole article because there's a whole Wikipedia article on. He made a Halloween ROM hack for Earthbound, and the song Megalovania, right? That came from this ROM hack. So, like,
That's
there
cool.
is, and again, speaking of games that I would love to see a remake for, Earthbound.
Earthbound. Yeah.
And
Wait. Remake or remaster?
shut up.
Fair answer.
No, I mean either or something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you're not paying,
we're still waiting for Mother 2 to be translated and come out over here, which is never going to happen, but
right.
we're still waiting.
And again, it comes down to, as Mike so eloquently put, it comes down to how much money can somebody get from this thing, and they're not going to get a lot of money from
I'm holding up a finger because that reminds me to ask my question.
They're not going to get an appreciable amount of money for releasing certain games. And there's like these weird unicorns that will come out from like nowhere. Was it Live a Live came out? What was
Oh,
it?
Live a Live, yeah.
Right, and that was
that was out of nowhere.
out of
Because who has
nowhere.
thought about that game in like the last 10 years?
But they did it, and it was everyone's like, "Holy shit, this game's fucking awesome!" And fantastic. I would love to see things like that. And again, going back to this discussion that we had last week, I would love to see AAA developers taking a small portion of the money that they're bringing in and using it to fund single A or double A or small indie things under that umbrella for things like that. How many fucking
Or
IPs?
let them flourish instead of killing them before they're about to release.
So do we need another version of fucking The Last of Us? No, but you know what would be pretty cool is like maybe looking into like Sly Cooper or some shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
right? There are so many games. There's so many games. Jumping Flash. I remember people loved the shit out of that game. Right? We're never going to see it again. Knights. Never going to see it again. Like,
I think that had a remake, or not a remake, but a remaster.
right? I think it did. Right? And it had a sequel at one point, and then
Yep.
never heard from it again.
Nope.
Those are like, throw me a bone, man. Like, throw me that shit. Like, throw me something like from like my childhood that I'd be like, oh, cool. Like, I'd
But
love
see,
to
that's
see
very specific to you too, though.
It'll be specific to anyone. Everyone's going to have a game that they played of our age group. There's going to be a game that somebody played that was not super popular but really impactful on them that they would love to see a remake of that they simply cannot play anymore. It just does not exist.
I have a question, and I want to ask Mike first because I think I know what his sentiment is based on what we've talked about already.
Yep.
But out of curiosity, when you hear a game, well, whether you recognize it or not, when you hear that a game is a remake or a remaster of another game, what is your gut reaction to it? Is it, oh no, not again, or that's cool, I'm glad this is living again, or I don't know anything about this, let's check it out, or something along those lines?
It really is. It's really situational.
Okay.
I would have to say it's situational because some games, and like you guys said, it's your own personal preference at that point, where you don't if you don't like certain games. Perfect example for me. I enjoy sports games to play it every once in a while. I do not agree with re-releasing a new version every single year. Just like they did, just like the same idea was with the constant Call of Duties, what was
I
the other
think
one?
sports games just have that established now.
Right.
I feel like sports games are a whole other enigma when it comes to like yearly releases. It makes sense for that.
It does, but at the same time, it's annoying.
Sean, don't give me that. Rosters change in sports games. You get new players. Sometimes
Yes,
the rules change, so they have to adapt for that shit.
rosters
It makes
change.
sense for those to come out yearly.
Yes and no. Before, yes. Now, especially where you can release patches and updates and stuff like that, you can go between you can go more than a year.
Okay, I agree with that. I can see that.
What I'm saying, like, and
Yeah.
But you
the reason
can't
why.
update. You can't update the underlying things of a game, though. You can't basically remake the game that's already out by
Sure.
updating it.
Sure,
Which
you
is
can-
why they have to make these games.
No, I think the thing is, and to point to Mike's point, sure, release a new version of that game every 5 years, and in the interim, it's basically the only thing you're releasing is some texture packs, right, and literally a database spreadsheet. That's it. So you could release that. You could pay a nominal fee for that re-release, but that's not what makes the company money. What makes the company money is you paying full price for a game that they didn't put that much effort into, so and that they know you will buy. I mean, I remember somebody saying like, because there was a point too where there was a lot of Madden fatigue, and people were like, like, and I remember they were also releasing like the NCAA college ball games, right? And they were releasing like a new one every year. And I remember reading like a Game Informer article a million years ago. They're like, just give us a new roster, man. Like,
And I think that game series just stopped after a certain point, too.
right, because eventually the market says part of the problem is they know we're going to buy it. Like Call of Duty's clear example. Assassin's Creed, another clear example, especially with the remake of Black
That was
Flag.
selective. That was very selective. I would argue that they saw the oh god, they saw how well he adapted Assassin's Creed 2 was, and then like turned that into its own trilogy, and then re-released it like at least twice more. They bundled them all together, and then they made the Ezio trilogy or whatever later on. They didn't properly remaster any of those except for Black Flag because of how well received that one was.
I'm not talking about the remasters. What I'm talking about is they release one every year, and you get fatigue, and then they stop releasing them every year. And then you start putting out, hey, and then people remember, oh yeah, this was a really great series. You know what you're not going to see probably a remaster of? Valhalla. You're probably not going to
Yeah.
see a remaster of Shadows. You're not going to see a remaster of any of these newer games because we had that fatigue already. So now the easy solution is, instead of saying, let's go back to the, to the ground level, let's look at what made these games popular. Let's stop pushing it every year. What they're going to do is they're going to take really popular IPs, upgrade them, push them out, because they'll make $60 off of you, or $80. And again,
I
this
don't
is
think
no.
we'll see remakes of those soon. I think we'll see them later on.
I mean, we'll see, because I think we're also reaching a nexus point now where most of these remakes and remasters are of older IPs on different hardware. I think we're reaching a nexus point now where like we might have maybe one, maybe two more hardware generations after this. I don't think we're going to see much more of it because hardware is prohibitively expensive, and we're starting to see the advent of cloud games. One of the things I put on there that we were going to talk about was I think Xbox is releasing a streaming game thing for free where you can watch ads before it,
Yep.
which is a great business model.
Wow.
Yeah, that's and the article that I saw on was like, it feels gross, and it does feel gross, but we'll do it.
They're also adding a 360 library category thingy for the ROG Ally too, to make the backwards compatible games backwards compatible for the handhelds.
Right. And at the end of the day, it's just about making money. And again, I get it. It's a fucking industry, man.
Yeah.
There are parts of me that are like, hey, I want to see a re-release of Chrono Trigger, and I probably won't ever see it, but
I'm all for it if it funds the studio and they're able to make their bigger games or the things that they actually want to do.
uh, but the thing is, if the market dictates that we see value or we want remakes, no company's going to say, well, we'll put out new games. They're going to say, no, we'll just keep doing the same fucking remakes.
Looking at it with my analysis eyes, remakes and remasters were a trend of a certain generation, and now we're moving towards the MMO or live service games, just so that way they can have a steady stream of income. Where later on, all this stuff is going to collapse. I don't know what the next trend of gaming is going to be, because it doesn't really look like the industry is growing right now. Everybody's just trying to hold on to what they have.
Right.
Right. And that is the biggest problem, I think. The biggest problem that we're going to run into is eventually we're going to hit the point of, okay, I don't want to see another remake. We're not going to buy it. We'll end up picking something else. I'm actually, where I think we're going to start seeing a lot of traction is, again, going to be indie games, because we don't have those new things that we want to get put back out onto new platforms. That doesn't exist anymore. And me using, Assassin's Creed Shadows as an example, sure, we might see at some point they might port it to a new system with some minimal upgrades, but like you're not going to get a remaster of a game, you need to have that be a new IP that actually touches you and makes you want to see it again. And we're not seeing that. We're just seeing the same old IPs over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And which is why it's super refreshing to see a game like Expedition 33 or like Mina the Hollower or like all of these games that are coming out, because it feels novel to have a new IP come out that I want to see more of. But it makes me worried because, again, there's going to be a point 15 years down the road we're going to be like, dude, we got another Skyrim for my brain chip.
Yeah.
Mike, thoughts?
No, I'm agreeing with a lot of the things that he's talking about. There's not really much I can add to what the two of you have mentioned so far, and what the point where we're at, and that's where is part of the reason why I'm fearful as to we're at that point where we can be at that crash, because all I'm just thinking is we're at the point where are we at the point where people were feeling with video games and the turning point of like when E.T. was released and they had a land full of those games. That is what I'm worried about.
You know what year that
It's
was,
just a
by the way?
straight up bad game.
You know what? You
What
know what year that was?
I
1983.
used to
The
remember.
year I was born.
Oh shit.
The year I was born was the great video game crash.
So it's your fault.
1983. I broke the entire industry. All right, because again, it's a little bit late. I want to just pose one thing. If there was a remake or remaster of any game that you would want,
You had the same question I did.
I'm the host, baby. You gotta host it up. So, what would it be? We'll start with Mike.
I will be very upset if there is one and I'm not aware. If they do I wouldn't say a remaster. I want them to toe the line as far as they can between remaster and remake with it. Suikoden. That's what got me into JRPGs. I would love to see
Suikoden. Suikoden.
Yeah.
Sean's looking it up.
Sorry, so you said, what was it again?
Suikoden.
Okay.
Because the premise
See
of
if
it, is, for me,
That's fair.
And they don't like. Oh, sure.
I have two,
yeah.
and I can't decide which one.
Oh, they did remaster it. Damn it!
Get it.
But they didn't remake it. It's just a remaster.
Yeah. I'd have to see. So we go ahead and remaster. I have to see what those images look like.
On the
Didn't I tell you that
PSP?
that came out?
You might have. Yeah, you did. And I think I was disappointed when I looked at it.
Oh, you're
Oh.
gonna. So actually, it's on the. It released last year on PlayStation 4, 5, Nintendo
Yeah.
Switch, Xbox, and the thing that makes me kind of curious is it's a PSP game, so I'm curious if they actually did anything for this
Mm-hmm.
updated version. Probably not.
I'm looking at it. The background fights, the background scenes definitely are different because that was not available back then. I'm gonna have to play it just to see what if it makes me curious. I'm scared, but it makes me curious.
Hey, man. I mean, this is what it looks like. This is one of the images. It's pretty looking.
It is. Trying to see. Let me.
Ooh, it's like Dragon Warrior? Is that what I'm thinking of? No. Yes?
Fantasy Star?
Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest. That's the one.
Yeah.
Copy image. Or at least this is how I remember the game. Or close to it.
Cool looking.
Not too far off.
Even then, I think that might be a remaster too.
Yeah, that looks way too crisp for what would have released on a CRT.
That's Golden Sun.
I love Golden Sun.
Is this it? No, that's still. Either which way, it's. I wanted to toe that line, to be honest.
Fair?
What about you guys?
Adam?
Hello.
Lay it on me.
Was the original question remake or remaster or either?
Either.
Okay. I would like to both. I would like to see a remake of The Legend of the Dragoon from PS1,
Okay.
and I would like to see them remaster just to re-release. I just lost the name of the game. Fuck. It shares Xenosaga. Xenogears is the one that I want them to redo. I had to think of the new one. Xenogears. I love that game.
Is that the one where it was like originally going to be like this sprawling epic that got like severely truncated?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I keep seeing things on that where people are like, we just want to see what the original thing was going to look like.
It needs a proper ending for that game.
Yeah, because it's like
But
all
it has one of the
FMVs.
best battle systems of any game that I've played. It's really it's neat.
That's what I'm saying. Well, hey, maybe somebody will be listening to us and be like, you know what, we're gonna make your dreams come true. I mean,
It's been like 20 years. I doubt that's gonna happen now.
yeah, I think for me, I mean, again, it's gonna be Chrono Trigger. That's just like, I mean, there's a million ports of it. I'd love to see. I would love to see them do a Octopath Traveler type art style with
That
that.
would be cool.
And I think that, and again, back to this idea of, you know, let's just call it a remaster because again, you're fundamentally changing. Well, I don't know. Like that's kind of toes the line depending on what they add to it. I think that there's a lot of games out there that could benefit for some, like it's just a quick spit shine. But again, like as Mike, you put it correctly, it's really, really specific. There's some there are some games where you see it come out and you're like, oh hell yeah, right? Like if they did an updated HD version of No More Heroes or something, fucking rock on, man. But if they're re-releasing like I don't know, fucking Black Ops 1 again, and it's like, all right, yeah, we played it.
Racing Barbie Horse Trainer.
Don't get my hopes up. Don't get my hopes up, man.
Sorry, man.
All right. On that note, anything else you guys want to add?
I have a question, but I don't think that it's related to this podcast anymore because we didn't talk about it in the beginning.
Well, throw it
You were
out
supposed
there.
to give me a breakdown of my marathon match that you watched.
Oh, yeah. He did great. No, honestly, like, which I'll give you the feedback when we play later, and I'll be like,
Okay.
yo, man, how the fuck do you do that shit? Because I feel like a right tool when I'm playing. Just so everyone's clear, there was a run that we did last night, and we're playing this new PvE mode, and me and Mike had, like, combined probably, like, 20 bot kills, right? And Adam walked away with 60. 60.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. You are a dangerous, dangerous man. I'm scared for my safety around you. And stop huffing glue.
Just be happy you're on my team.
Hey.
I feel very inadequate and realize, holy crap, I'm dragging your ass down.
It's not that bad.
Typically, I'm in the same boat. I think me and Mike, there's like about 3 times every match, one of us will go, help.
Dad comes running in to save the day.
Hey kids, you got yourself in this situation, you got to get yourself out.
Put you
And
in
that's
the
how I
backpack,
end up in
don't
the
bring your
freaking
own.
remote. That's how I end up get stuck in a corner in the middle of freaking nowhere.
See, with those, we need to like spread out and like search everything. But then I gotta come back.
It's
all
good
good.
stuff.
I'll teach you guys. It's not that bad. All right. Ooh, Sean, do you want to take us out the normal way, or you just want to say bye?
I want you to take us out the normal way.
The host
If you
has
want
spoken.
more from the... What'd you just say?
I said the host has spoken.
The host usually does this job.
I
If you
gave
want.
up my seat.
We're on Facebook and Threads and Instagram and Blue Sky, and we have a Patreon. And the podcast goes live every Wednesday at 7:30, and the video version of the podcast goes live on YouTube at the same time. Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! Come talk to us on the socials. It's
Buy
fun
our
stuff. I just put
Patreon.
up buy our Patreon. I just put up the text thread from us earlier, being Chaos Gremlins or whatever. That was funny.
That is
Yes, Gremlins.
that was awesome.
You chaos gremlin, you.
Hey, it worked out.
Did it.
We got an
I feel
episode
like
out of it.
We did, and I think people are going to be like, don't ever let that fat-headed Irish guy talk again.
What the fuck happened?
Dude.
They were doing so well.
Oh, man, like, I watched it, I watched the Hindenburg crash in real time. All
Nice.
right, everybody.
All right. Shall we go take a break and then maybe do another vault run? If you guys
Yeah.
want to do it?
Yes,
I am
yes.
always up, and I have tomorrow off, so I am ready.
Yay! I unfortunately have to work, but I'm gonna go. I gotta go check on the
I
kiddos.
have to work too, but it's all good.
Later.
Bye.